Welcome back to The Betrayed. This is Gina Beck.
This is Drew Williams.
Thank you for liking, listening, commenting, and subscribing.
Thank you so much for the continued engagement and the words of encouragement and just everything. Thank you guys again. All right, we're going to get right into this. I came across, it's not super old, but it's a couple months old, a short documentary called I Found Predators on YouTube and This Is What I Did to Them. It's by a YouTuber named Mamamax, who's also probably a really, really good hacker. He came across a group called Cartoon Incorporated, and all these videos are titled, and the thumbnails all seem to be aged at young children. There's one that include Frozen 3. If you watched it, had all kinds of ultra graphic scenes with Elsa and whatever characters doing sexual scenes. Included are frames that are repetitive that you have to look through frame by frame to see them, kind of like MK Ultra style stuff. Things like your brain will do as we command, you are safe with us, you are precious to us. I just found the entire thing really creepy, but the crazy thing is he was able to trick at least a few of them into thinking he was also a child and to download a fake game. And once they downloaded this game, he was able to, it's called a rat. It basically takes all the data off their computer, takes a screenshot of everything, and then he was able to send this to police and mass report at least the one page, Cartoon Incorporated, and they got it shut down. If you watch the documentary, he kind of is a mix of, I don't know, a few of the other hunter groups out there. It claims there's some inspiration from Anxiety Wars, but I wanted to see what you thought about all of it, Gina.
I think he's amazing at what he does. I was very intrigued and I couldn't look away. I want to know more. I think that's his first video that he's done on this subject, right?
On that, at least that I found. If someone else found some other ones, because his channel seems to kind of just do what he wants. If someone's got a link to some other stuff, I'd like to see his stuff too, but I think so. I think this is the only one he has.
And I saw a recent Instagram post where he's making a part 2, which will be neat to see. So if the part 2 is out, I'll probably have another episode on this. And I reached out to him. So Mamamax, if you're listening, I would love to interview you along with Drew and possibly one of our other co-hosts. I reached out and I'd like to pick his brain about what he does and stuff like that. So we'll see if we get a response. But I just think that it's very intriguing and everybody should go watch the video. He's a predator hunter who you wouldn't think is a predator hunter. And he turns all of this information in. He reports it to YouTube. He doesn't want the platform to be dangerous, and it's turning dangerous. It's been dangerous for a long time, actually, and people just either haven't noticed or have noticed, and there's not a big enough presence who have noticed to be able to do something about it. But he's definitely making it way more well-known, and I think that's amazing.
He even brings up the other, some of the other platforms we were talking about Discord, TikTok, and all those being used for like malicious things. And he also defends them, saying that they're not intentionally malicious. It's just predators using them. But I really thought the tactic of actually, because whenever you read about the big busts, they usually have a stockpile of either hard drives or some type of data of child porn, and being able to go in and, I don't know what the complete legalities are. I don't know where he's at, so it might be legal for him to do it. But to be able to present that to police is so much more, I guess, impactful for at least maybe getting police's attention. Because once there's child pornography or anything like that, just, I mean, slap even a gigabyte or something like that is enough to put somebody away.
You're right, because he's like getting into their phone. Right? And he's able to see everything on their phone, which is mind-blowing. That's a whole nother level. I've never seen anybody. I mean, I know that that's probably done within, internet crimes against children or people that are going after these guys. But I have not seen anybody, YouTube, Facebook person, anybody that's in our community that does this and is not an authority. I've never seen that. So to me, that is amazing, and I'm it's just a whole nother level. And you're able to get so much more information, detailed information, and proof and evidence, and find out who they are from past to present to future. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost one of those things. It's almost like the teams and people that are most passionate about it. We almost need to reach out to these type of people because they could. They're not to say they're a tool, but their skills are a very, very powerful tool in all this. I mean, and they're generally smarter than most of these people on here. They understand.
Yeah. Everybody has a place and everybody has a role. And if people were able to communicate and be able to use all of our tools and together, it would be amazing. We'd have so much more proof and evidence and get things done just on our own rather than, have way more of a book of things for the cops, but more of a concrete evidence in that book, though, instead of just like, oh, here's some chat logs, here's his Facebook profile. No, here is where he stored child porn on his phone. Here is where he is taking pictures of random girls in Walmart. Here is the text messages of him talking to another perverted friend about taking pictures of girls randomly at Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, you find out so much.
The other thing I really liked about that short doc is he covered so many things that we're into. Is he brought up the fact that you can't rely on like YouTube to protect your children. You need to be watching your children. I really, really like that he brought that up. And then he also brought up in the very beginning something I had never even heard about. One of the guys from Walking Dead had a movement called YouTube Wake Up, which was bringing light to all the weird videos that are taped. There's like, what are the Roblox or Roboblocks or whatever they are, that are all super sexualized and stuff. I just like that he brought attention to both those things. I had never heard of YouTube Wake Up movement, and if you search it, not a lot of stuff comes up, which is kind of sad because it seems like that guy tried to use what fame he had to bring attention to it, and it didn't go anywhere, which is sad. I mean, I guess the sites are getting shut down, but they're still hidden out there. You can still find them if you look for them.
And that's what's crazy is that like any kid could be on YouTube, click a video, and the suggested video could be something looking like a cartoon, but it's crazy. Like what's in this video that we're discussing, or just the thumbnails are so deceiving. You could think it is Frozen 3. And what parent keeps up on what Frozen is out? All they see is a little cartoon going across the screen. They're not as engaged as the video as a kid is. The kid is the one learning and picking up on all this stuff in the video. The parent is in the background doing whatever, just hearing cartoon stuff and not even realizing. That's why every time I'm around cousins or friends' kids or anything like that, and they're on a tablet or a phone or whatever, and they're looking at TikTok or YouTube, I pay attention to what they're watching. For example, I won't say who, but there's a child who had the phone, and it was their favorite YouTuber, they said. And I'll send you these YouTube videos, Drew, and I'll even link them in the description so you guys can see. Parents, please, not kids. So the YouTube channel is very cartoony, and it's just like any other cartoon that you'd see. Another girl playing Barbies. There's a random boy, like, Barbie and Ken doll type stuff. That kind of cartoon. Well, these cartoon characters that are children in this story are talking about getting under the bed and under the blanket and lifting up the covers and looking at what kind of underwear are you wearing and things like that. And when I heard what was going on, I was like, I had a double take. I'm like, what are you watching? She's like, oh, just my favorite YouTuber. And I'm like, does your mom or dad allow you to watch this? And she's like, yeah, just totally confident. Yeah. And I go, let me see. And I go, so if I text your mom this right now, she'll say she lets you watch this. Exactly. Don't lie to me. This stuff is crazy. It's not good. Yeah, so anytime that they're on the phone it should be monitored. And anytime I'm around kids, I try to pick up on what they're watching. And that channel got blocked right away. So did a lot of like the suggested channels that were under it because they were kind of about the same thing, but they were totally different channels. But you could see in the thumbnail that they were all relatable.
Mm-hmm.
It was disgusting. It was like a whole rabbit hole of dirty cartoon stuff. And she's like 11.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
just
terrifying. They're targeting all those. I mean, like they'll see like we're gonna link it in the description of the video we're talking about. They show all the Frozen stuff, the thumbnails and everything like that. Spider-Man, anything you could think about that kids are into, and you'll see little clips of those videos very similar to what she's talking about, and we'll link the other ones too.
also I wanted to mention something. We have I've mentioned the interview with the Predator coming up, right? And it may go through, it may not. It's not 100%. Either way, I would love to have an interview with a Predator on this channel. And it'll happen eventually. If it's not with the one that we were talking about, it'll be with a different one. I just want at least one to try to get in the mind of a Predator and for everybody that's on this channel to be able to hear. And someone had said, why give a platform to a Predator? So I just kind of want to discuss this a little bit because that is a valid question. Technically, giving a platform to a predator, nothing positive can come from it. Okay, nothing positive. It's not like all of you guys are going to go follow him. It's not like all of you guys are going to go support him. It's not like all of you guys are going to want to know really any more about him than what he's done. So I'm giving a platform to a predator for the community to be able to get in the mind of this guy, as the ones who want to, as much as I do, and as much as Drew does and the rest of the team. And if that's not your cup of tea, not something that you want to hear about, just respectfully not listen. You'll see in the title when it comes. And I just kind of wanted to discuss that because it is a valid question, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm condoning it. It's not about saying, hey, man, you want to come on here and me have your back? No, no. Trust me, nothing like that. It's, hey, man, you want to come on here and tell your side of the story and me ask you some questions? And those questions are going to be probably some of the hardest questions he's had to answer besides being in front of the authorities. And I think it might even be harder because this is a platform and this is going to be heard by plenty of people and not just by one or two people who can get him in trouble. And I think that you guys are smart enough not to give someone like that a platform, which I think that means on his own social medias. You guys are, you guys wouldn't do that. So I love y'all. I want to end it here. If you guys have any questions, you guys want to come on and tell your betrayal story, hit us up on our socials, links in the descriptions. If you guys have any questions or you guys want to link us to some crazy, insane videos that you caught your kids watching or you came across because of a rabbit hole, let us know because we will report them with you and make sure that we try to keep our social media safe for the kids because that stuff should not be going on. Love y'all, Banana Cats.
Banana Cats, much love. Peace.